What is up, guys? I am live from the Jamie Kerstetter / Scott Blumstein / do you call him Hortsky?
Hortsky.
Yeah, / Hortsky mansion.
It's Crouton's house.
This is mostly Crouton's house. That's the key. That's the key. Enjoying a little time by the pool. Jamie went ahead and threw me in the pool for a video we just been doing, but we wanted to give you guys a little taste outside of the World Series of Poker. This Facebook Live is brought to you by Global Poker, which actually, as someone who plays poker in the United States, have you tried this yet?
I have not.
So you're in Las Vegas playing now on mostly just WSOP.com.
Yeah.
How much does that hurt things after being in New Jersey?
No, it's cool because like they pulled them together, and I feel like a lot of new people are playing, and I feel like right now it's a little bit softer than it was when it was just New Jersey, but we'll see.
Did it affect your decision to move here that things were
sure
mixing up?
Yeah, because Chris plays a lot online and I play a decent amount too, so it kind of like had us anchored in New Jersey whether we wanted to be there or not, and now like it gives us one more option of like if you don't want to go to the casino, we see something to do.
Well, first we have to say hi to everyone. Oh, I have to use the other finger. You guys, we're not using the computer, so this is how I have to do things with my finger. We want to say what's up, Wojtek, Luciano. Hello. Hi, Pell. What's up, Mark? Thanks. What's up, JB? So, while we did a little shout outs, you recently moved to Vegas. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, the kind of process, the decision to move here. And actually, you're now living in a house with your Manny Man and also Scott Blumstein. So, like, how did that emerge? And also, I know it seems awkward that I'm not looking at you, but it's, like, all about them. So.
Oh, okay. I should look at these guys. Hi, guys. So Chris was actually backing Scott Blumstein before the main, and he was playing. Yeah, he was playing $100 tournaments at New Jersey sites, and so when he came out here to play the main, Chris took a little piece of him, and every one of our friends had like a little tiny shred of his name.
Yes, the whole community says thank you.
So when he won, like it was like a come up for everyone, and like a lot of people's options opened up. So we got to move here and have this like really nice house. It's been pretty awesome. But that's how it happened. Like Chris and I were looking around at houses, and Scott's like, you know, I wouldn't mind moving to Vegas too. Let's start looking together. And like as soon as we saw this house, we're like, yeah, this is the one we want to buy.
It's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a beautiful house, but there's also like some little gems left over from the people here before, which I feel like its age range has decreased by like exponential amounts.
Yes.
Probably
based on what the people left in our house. I put them around 180 to 200 years old.
Yeah, easily. Easily.
We have some really weird shit in our house.
100%. Yeah. Welcome, Justin. I'll get to the last two questions here in a second. Oh wow, we got two Justins. I love it. So let's talk a little bit. You know, I know you've had a relationship with the Borgata for a long time. I'm assuming you're gonna still go back and like keep your relationships with these, you know, East Coast grinding places. But what are you doing now here in Vegas? Are you grinding cash at all?
Yeah, so I've been playing just 1-2 no limit online. It's been pretty good out here so far. I hope it doesn't die. And I'm playing a bunch of World Series events, and I don't know, I'm probably not going to be back to the East Coast that much just for holidays and things. So I actually quit my Borgata sponsorship maybe 4 or 5 months ago. I'll be back for the WPT and stuff like that, but
all the big stuff. Don't worry, James. We're hard on that water game.
We're on the water grind now. We had wine for breakfast, so.
All right, Matthew wants to know, what about Run Good?
Oh yeah, I'm still with Run Good. How many years? It's been like 3 or 4 years now. They're just the best company. I'm actually wearing a Run Good shirt right now. They're really nice people and they do a lot of good. We just came from Operation Gratitude last week in LA where we donated $15,000 and a bunch, like 1,000 care packages and stuff. They're just a good company, and I don't see any reason why I would ever leave them.
I love it. Actually, I was just at dinner with Brent the other day, and he was talking about y'all's journey to deliver the packages and all the money.
The journey back was a little interesting because I suggested car karaoke, and then Brent saying he picked a Disney tune and sang it with all of his heart.
Oh God, sweet baby Jesus. What did you pick?
Oh man, a lot. I like 80s hair bands and stuff.
And you can keep it going. Okay, I love it. Well, we want to welcome Richard. What's up, Richard? What's up, Mark? What's up, Mario? Oh, Mario's like one of my faves. He always jumps in. David wants to buy a piece of you. I guess that leaves a good opening then to talk a little bit about your WSOP schedule. I know you've been doing some commentating. I feel like you're pulled in a lot of directions. You have a lot of things going on. So what can we expect from you this summer?
I'm playing, I think, 12 WSOP events, and then also the main, playing a few events at the Win, Aria, and stuff like that. But I'm only playing like 3 tournaments a week, where normally I used to just like go so hard where like I wouldn't do anything else. I would just play tournaments and I was like a huge zombie. So this year I have like 3 different days that I'm doing commentary for PokerGo. Or Twitch. I don't really know if there's a difference.
I know, I can't figure it out. It's like Poker Central, PokerGo.
Yeah, it's like the
Twitch.
Same company as like hiring the people, but I think certain things are on different streams. I'm doing that and just kind of like trying to stay sane and happy. And like today, you're like, do you want to come over and do this? I'm like, yes, I'm not playing poker right now. Like,
dude, you guys, there's an awesome video coming out. Like, hold your breath. This is probably going to be the best shit I'm going to do the whole World Series. Because Jamie had like the most clever idea. Not that that's a surprise, but that'll be coming out either later tonight or tomorrow. And I absolutely can't wait for you guys to see it. What's up, Ovi? What's up, Mark? And honestly, I really appreciate it, James. And what's up, Tim? Welcome. Let's talk a little bit about the marathon. So I was a little sweating. I was sweating today because you were deep in that marathon event. Last night there was, okay, I'm not going to say I can remember actually, but I know that like it's a long ass tournament, so it's a little bit different than the rest, but you went pretty deep. So let's talk a little bit about what happened in the marathon. And even like, I really have to give a shout out and kudos to the World Series. I think they've made a lot of, whatever you're into, there's a tournament there that you can do. Like if you're into like a $565 buy-in turbo, you've got it. If you're into like a 10K, 100K, or if like the marathon, I think probably is one of the best values for people who understand how to play cash game poker on the schedule. It's kind
of like a warm-up for the main event. The structure is similar, and you really have a lot of time to like work with your stack, and like it's not like some of the one-day turbos and things. It's like, okay, pick a hand and go with it. This is like, look, I had to make several mistakes to bust myself out of this one. But I ended up, I got to 100K from a 26K starting stack. I was having an awesome 2 days, and then I flopped flush under flush button to big blind, and that was like half my stack. And then I played one hand, I really hated how I played it, and I dusted off another like 20K in chips, and then that was it. Like, it wasn't exactly the most fun day 2 for as much as I like ravage people on day 1.
Fuck, it's the worst. But it's interesting because I was talking to a couple of guys on the podcast yesterday, maybe the day before, and I'm interested in a tournament like the marathon. It's a little bit out of the price point for some people, for a certain range of people like myself, basically. But it's also like the days are so long that maybe some other people are going to decide not to play because they want to get in their 10K on the next day or whatever. So talk to me a little bit about what you felt about the field that it attracted.
Yeah, like I had discussed leaving this off my schedule because I thought, I'm like, all right, if I'm going to pick and choose, if I'm playing like 12 events, it's like, all right, if this is going to be one where it's like it's super long and it's going to be all pros and like the buy-in's a little higher, than like I could play 2 1500s instead on a weekend where it's like going to be more amateurs. And then I talked to Jesse Sylvia, who actually lives down the street, and he goes, oh man, you're playing the marathon? He's like, ugh, that just sounds miserable to be sitting there for 5 days.
He's like in it with you till the end.
Exactly. But he's like, oh, 5 days? He's like, I don't know. He's like, I can't see myself really doing that. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh my God, wait, pros might hate this tournament.
Yes.
Because they're thinking of like, oh, well, if I'm deep in this, I'm going to have to miss like a 3K6 max and like a turbo and all this other stuff. So I ended up playing it. And my tables, though, like a couple of them were still all pros.
Tough, yeah. So, that's funny because I talked to Johnny Bax on the first day of the tournament, and he said, yeah, all the pros are saying they're not going to play this, and I'm just saying to them, cool, please don't play this.
Yeah.
But I think, those long levels and stuff, it's also, I mean, when you think about how many times people are putting in an 11-hour day and then, busting right before, you back at the end of the night or whatever it is, it's like actually like giving you space to play poker, I think is really like what we all want, right? There's a whole summer for other things.
There's a whole summer. There are enough bad structured fast tournaments if you really just want to get in there and gamble. And like sometimes I do. I'll like go play a 500 at Win that will be finished at 2 a.m.
Right.
Because I'm like, all right, today I don't have the patience to like sit and like think very hard, and I just want to like go in there and like play my ranges and be whatever, and not have to be on like this sicko level to like win. And then there's days where you're like, all right, give me like 200 big blinds, like let's go. Like, I want to be in it.
I'm in it. Well, I want to shout out because Eddie Maldonado just joined, and he's my future real estate agent once we find our house in Texas. But we got lots of other homies that we have to shout out to. Sorry, like normally, guys, this is different, but we're doing it straight up on my phone. So welcome, Chris, to... Mark says balance is important, and I totally agree. Mario wants to know, are you doing the BPO commentary?
Oh, that's Borgata. I won't be back that often, but I mean, I still would. I have nothing bad to say about Borgata. It's like one of my favorite casinos to play at, so if I'm in town, I'd still be interested in doing it.
All right, we're going to give a shout out to Mike Klatt in the marathon. He's a
Run Good guy.
Okay, all right.
He mans the Run Good booth, so if you guys like buy shirts and hats and stuff, that's who you're probably talking to. And I said to him, I'm like, I can't believe you're playing this marathon, you're going to slack and not be in the booth.
He's going to sell sunshades.
He said if I'm winning $600K, I think that it's,
it's worth it overall. These are not Tom Ford. These are, in fact, Forever 21. Very nice brand you might have heard of. Rob says, I wouldn't play poker online. You will simple be donating, not playing poker, even though they will make you think you are. And this is interesting because, when I came to your place in New Jersey, one of the things we talked about is that you guys were playing a lot of the spin and goes, which it's funny because when the spin and go came out, I think a lot of people were hating on it and being like, oh, it's like just total gamble, like why? But actually most of the professional poker players I know that were playing online poker at the time in the United States, this is what they all honed in on. This is what they all focused on. Like, what's the sort of like GTO strategy in a 3 max, super turbo, whatever. So talk to us a little bit about, I guess, this philosophy that you can't play online poker anymore.
I trust online poker, and I know like we've been burned before, and there's different companies that I'm not going to play on. Like, let's take ACR for example. Like, I've played a bunch on there over the last 2 years. Just it would be like supplementary to my New Jersey schedule. I'm like, why wouldn't you jump in a $215 one with like 200,000 up top? And then as it got shadier and shadier, I stopped playing there and I took all my money off because it became apparent that unregulated poker, that the government could step in at any time and be like, this site doesn't exist anymore. So I just don't play on that anymore. But like WSOP.com, they make rake, they're regulated by Nevada, and there's nothing that makes me worried about it. Like, I have money parked on there right now and I just don't think about it. Like, I trust it. Also, for people who still don't trust online poker, like, there are people who consistently win over long stretches of time who also win at live poker, and there's people who consistently lose who are bad at live poker. So there is correlation. There's not like we choose Auntie Chardonnay's account to win and Crouton's account to lose or something like that. So I don't see a reason not to trust these regulated sites now.
Well, I know for one, I donate all the time, so I know for sure there are people that are out there like donating to these pros' lives. What's up, Dave? Super Crusher Craigie V, I hope you're talking Craig Varnell because shout out to Colorado. We're all loving
I'm interviewing him tomorrow for our LFG podcast.
Stop! Oh my gosh! Shout out to LFG too. And actually, while we're here, we should talk the 26th, right? If you guys want to play with Jamie, you want to meet with the LFG homies. 26 Treasure Island starts at 7. Yeah. Registration open until 9.
It's small, $150 buy-in. It's mostly fun focused. Like, you obviously can win money in the tournament. We're going to be giving away some prizes from Run Good and some random things. And Crouton might come. We're like seeing if he can be a good enough boy to like be in public in a casino.
Who's the good boy?
Yes.
We're going to give also, there's like some hoodies and sweatshirts and t-shirts from PokerNews, and I'm hoping to get these guys their own swag soon. I just discovered a site where I think we can do that, but moreover, this is like the kind of tournament, if I was here, OMG, I would be there. That's my price point. That's the kind of tournament I want to drink wine. There's going to be food and drinks. That's the kind of tournament I want to be playing. So also, like, we want to shout out to Chad because Chad like works really hard. Everything he does, he loves.
Chad is probably like the best person I've ever worked with. Like, that's saying a lot. I've worked with a lot of people.
Yeah.
He is someone who like, we're like, oh, we should really do a podcast next week. And he's like, all right, here's who we should have. Here's the time he's available. Here's the outline. Let's go do it. And I'm like, how did you do that? I'm doing 12 things, and I know he is too.
For sure.
He's, like, the most
and he's amazing because he also, like, he has such a deep love of the game. There are some people who it's like, okay, this is what they do for a living or whatever. It's like he will, I remember once he found a poker player that, like, people hadn't talked to in 10 years or something. He literally flew to Dallas, met in a hotel room, like, recorded all this stuff to talk to, like, one of his old heroes. Anyways, shout out to Chad. We love you. All right, David wants to know, also, I'm just going to say real Rob Roy because it sounds awesome. But what do you think of the Colossus? Good value? Did you play it? Like, what are your thoughts on that type of deal?
That's like the ultimate dollar in a dream situation. I would always play it. I go in there welcoming all the pain that I'm about to receive from these people. So I only put 2 bullets in this year, and then I honestly skipped the 3rd bullet that I planned to play because I missed Crouton. And so I came home at 6 p.m. and I missed the last flight. I would play it every year though, and I got to commentate it, and it was wild. We ended up on SportsCenter on a World Star Hip Hop.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right.
It was awesome.
That was great. I interviewed the Brazilian on the flip side of the video,
Felicio,
which if you guys want, it's on Jamie's Twitter at, is it just at Jamie?
At Jamie Kerstetter, yep.
You can find it, and the video is fantastic. We'll give Jordan Jr. a shout out. Shout out to Jordan Jr. But this is something I think is interesting to talk to you about, because I actually have a video coming out where I talked to Ryan LaPlante about. So he made a tweet like, "Oh, I just fired my 12th bullet into." Actually, I think he was firing into like a PLE event, yeah, and he didn't cash. But so I asked him. I think especially like with the growth of the re-entries, it's something that a lot of poker players are really starting to have to look at. Is like, okay, what is, you know, where do I find value? How many buy-ins is too many? Like, what, when you're looking at the re-entries, it's like, how do you decide, like, where's your limit? And do you decide it before you buy in? Like, what do you do? So let's talk a little re-entry. How are you normally deciding? Like, do you create a, this is my max?
Yes, yeah, and like that's something I learned after like multiple years of just going in with like guns blazing and being like pew pew pew, let's just shoot some bullets.
Pew pew pew. That's my favorite.
Yeah. So I made a schedule of maybe like, I think it comes out to like $40,000 of tournaments, and I figured out how much of myself I would want, and I kept half, and then I sold the other half. But it makes you accountable. Like if I was just going all in with my own money, 100%. I feel like I would just be like, I feel like playing again. Like, let's light another $3,000 on fire.
Right.
Where if you sell a package and you like plan ahead of time and you sell pieces to people, it's like so good for your own, because you can't fuck up then. You
okay,
can't
but so
like,
here's
oh,
another question. So
in.
let's say you sell a package and you, so are you saying when you sell your package, like I have four re-entries in this tournament, and then if you don't end up using all of them, you only use 3, do you like refund the money?
Yep.
Okay. So this is interesting because actually I just this morning when I was getting ready, I was watching Christy Arnett's 3rd vlog, which I'm super in. I'm not into everyone's vlog. Not everybody's my cup of tea. But
she works hard on hers. There's like production value in hers. For sure. Like, and I really like her.
I love the idea of the vlog. Actually, like as much as it should be like competition for my own job, it's like it gives you this taste of just, like we were talking about earlier, an authentic person, their vulnerable side, their like ugly shit, their downswings. Like that's, you know, that's the stuff we all want to see and that we should know about before you come into poker. But more than that, so she was talking about building her package and deciding, you know, like how many events to play and how much of herself she was going to take. So she decided 60% of herself is how much she wanted. So when you're building your package, what are you thinking about? What factors are you considering? And how do you decide how much of yourself you want?
So the first thing you have to look at is just like, how will it affect you if you brick the whole summer? Because it happens to people. Summer with a $400,000 bankroll, and literally if they brick the summer, then they have to like readjust their whole way of life when they get home.
Right.
And that's something that like I never want to do. So I end up thinking like, all right, let's say the worst happens, am I going to be okay? So like you risk a portion of your bankroll that like won't make you like jump off a building if you lose. And then I just look at the events that are like unmissable, and there's a lot of those. There's like the Millionaire Maker, there's the Monster Stack, Ladies 1K, main events. There's events that like if you're a professional poker player, you just can't really miss them.
Yeah.
And I put those in there, and then I just pick the next ones that I'm like, to try to maintain like a balanced, happy summer, but still get a lot of poker in. And then when I come to the end of it, I'm like, all right, there's $40,000 of tournaments. I'll take 20,000. I'll sell 20,000 to my friends.
I mean,
like that's just the, I think it's like an embarrassing thing anymore. I think maybe like when staking and backing wasn't so mainstream, that it would be like, oh, let's pretend that I won 100% of this money. No one, like, you have to have a lot of money to put $10,000 into one tournament.
Right.
Because there's so much variance. So, like, if you don't have $1 million roll, then you really shouldn't be taking that much risk on yourself. And most people, he's in his mid-20s. How is he getting his hands on $1 million? So, like, it wasn't an embarrassing thing that he had sold a bunch and that he had people, he had swaps and all this stuff.
But does it sting a little bit? Like, I just have to be real. Like, of course you want to, like, give money to your friends, but, like, does it... I can even say for myself, like, okay, I've only played one WSOP event. Most of the time, just so you guys know, PokerNews people were not allowed to play World Series events. So I played a ladies, I cashed, I had done a 1% swap with Lynn and Christy, and it was like, I think I cashed for like, you know, I don't know, $2,000 or something, like very basic, and then I had to give like $80 to each of them. Like, I can't remember, whatever it was. Like I was like, dude, balls. Like, I was excited about my little like cash.
Just wait till you're on the other side of it, though. When you're like pissed off, you're like, oh, I'm out of this tournament and this really sucks. And then you look and you see a text that's like, hey, still in with 20 left. And I'm like, I have 5% still in this. Like, it's great.
And I remember talking to you as Scott was going through and being like, we have such a big sweat. Like, this is crazy. I love it. You guys, my phone is like on fire. I hope everything's okay.
It is like 900 degrees.
Yeah, like here. I think my phone's freaking out. But also, what's up, James? Yes, and also I love Texas. Thank you guys. Someone said quality sport. I know it's true. Not sit and go, spin and go. Like that was the tourneys we were talking about. Spin and goes. I think that's what everyone hated. ACR Lewis is like, yeah, it does not seem legit. Rob Roy, she talked a little bit about WSOP.com before. You want to talk any more about it?
Sure. I think
Craig Varnell.
Yeah, he's in there.
Colorado. Hello. Ship it to Papa.
Yeah, WSOP.com. I like it. I won 2 sets of Lammers already in $20 buy-ins. I was like, let's go. So, you know, if someone like me can win, then like literally anyone can win. Go get your Lammers, they're free.
Yeah, literally anyone, especially me. Hank, welcome. I hope you guys are okay. Like, since we had a little situation, I just want to reconnect with oh my gosh, it feels so hot. My phone is so hot, I'm really scared. ACR is full of bots. Have you seen that? Obviously, like, I know Joey Ingram went through the whole thing and kind of tried to say, like, is that something that you're able to like recognize?
I think it was great that he did that and like shone a spotlight on it, because I think a lot of people are just like, from states that don't have online poker, it's like their only option a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so they're just firing on there, not really like able to do anything else. And I think a lot of stuff he says is true, and I think that like I've had some definite like worries about them, because on Sundays they were offering a $1 million prize pool, and every Sunday it was short 200K.
Yeah,
every
like
Sunday.
How? Like,
like,
what's your like? That's not a sustainable business model.
This doesn't make any sense unless
actually,
they have bots.
I've heard a lot of people talking like everyone's obsessed with party poker right now, and I totally get that, and I'm all about it. They've got all these amazing guarantees, but there have been quite a few, lots of guarantees not met, and so like the poker players are like, this is amazing, this is awesome, but like some people are like, this isn't really a sustainable business model.
Yeah.
So, like, it's scary. Like, sometimes the best shit... Yeah, so I was just going to give a shout-out. What's up, Sean? If you guys haven't checked out True Gambling Stories, it's one of the best podcasts we put out on the PokerNews Podcast Network, besides LFG, obviously. But it's, like, it's just really crazy, wild stories. He showed me a book. He's working on another story about them. The Nevada prison system, they used to be allowing gambling. Doyle In fact, did you get to see Doyle when he was there?
Dude, that was awesome. I was watching. I don't even know the games that are playing. Like, I know how to play 08, PLO, and No Limit, and that's it. And I'm still watching it.
Is like, what up?
I was just like watching it, being like, I really hope they push the pot to Doyle.
Yeah.
I don't know what his cards are. I don't know what's going on.
I love a Texas boy. I love a Southern gentleman. I love somebody who like respects his wife and says it out there in public. Like, I don't know. I just love him. But Raquel, if you're on Team Hesp, I love you too. Like, Hesp is my boy.
He's the best.
I made a video about his life, and like I just hearts on this. Is your friend single? Oh, I love you guys. Hey, you guys, should we start like a different one where I connect to her Wi-Fi? I'm gonna try right now.
Have another...
We should be not low network connection. Connection available. Oh, great. Katie! Katie! What up, girl? Okay, we're like in the...
How can I make this stay? Oh, that didn't help at all.
This is what we need for it. Here.
This is what it would be like if we were podcasting from an earthquake.
Yeah, and also from like 1992. There we go.
Oh, we're good?
All right, I think. Except for I need you more in the frame. Okay, what's up? First of all, what is up, Katie? Katie, when are you moving to Vegas?
She just had a kid. I think they're planted now.
Dude, but like, who cares? He's not in school yet.
Yeah.
What's up, James? Thanks, you guys. We, our Mac...
For standing.
Girl Molly just brought us some ice. We got connected to the Wi-Fi, so hopefully we're crushing now. And actually, someone had asked a question, Jamie, which I wanted to ask you, and I thought was like valuable, and I didn't really know what they were talking about. So she's not single, by the way. She's taken. Sorry, boys. Hearts breaking. Hearts breaking all the time. Okay, what do you think about Poker Club AG? Is that a scam?
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. That's why I was like, ooh, I'm interested.
I need to hear about that.
I'm interested.
If it's one, I mean, there are so many sites that popped up that people play on apps, and then they like settle with the people in cash in person. So that actually happened a lot with New York underground clubs that I used to play in. They started running apps, and you would literally just play on the app against the same people that you would be playing with in person, and then you either go drop off money if you lose, or you collect money if you win. All of this is very illegal, but a lot of people do it, and I was like...
But, like, all this legality is so interesting, too, because it's all about finding the loopholes, right? So it's the same, like, since I got to Texas, and I've been, you know, talking a lot to the Haslett House Poker guys, and obviously, like, it's been a shame, like, they experienced something terrible. But getting robbed can happen anywhere. I have friends it's happened to in Vegas. But... So the idea is that, like, you can't take rake, right? That's what makes it illegal. So they basically run these rooms like a gym, right? Where you have to pay to be a member, and then you pay, like, per hour when you're there or something like that. I'm not sure what the, like, a clear analogy is. But it feels like, but then I also know some people who run some rooms in New York, which are, like, fully
rate
not
the
legal.
shit out of those games.
Yeah, like fully not legal.
They're just taking a lot of risks.
And also, yeah, like that's the thing. Like one of my buddies did end up, going to jail for that, which seems a little cray-cray.
Yeah. Like, it's consenting adults who are wanting to gamble for their money in your apartment or whatever you set up, and like, I don't see what the problem is with that, but
issue?
Sometimes America is
Hashtag
like
liberty, hashtag I'm all about it everywhere. But okay, so we don't know what Poker Club AG is, unfortunately, but if you send us the deets, we'll look and try to figure it out for you. Also, I wanted to give a shout out again, Sean, in case you didn't notice, but welcome back, James. Sorry we lost it. So Global Poker. Jesse Caps, what up, homie?
What's up?
Or PPP Poker. So you already said you haven't played Global Poker. What about PPP Poker?
I've been super lucky to be living in states where regulated poker is available, and I'm not as much of a grinder as I used to be. I used to like 10 to 20 table, and now I don't. I play like 4 tables, and I'm like, WSOP has enough for me to play right now.
Right.
So I don't really mess around with the unregulated stuff anymore.
How often are you, so now that you're in Vegas, and, I understand that, Atlantic City is in New Jersey and all that, but, like, now that you're in Vegas and it's full on 15, maybe 20 minutes to get to any casino you want and get any game going, do you think you're going to be playing a lot more cash live?
Yeah, I really like it. And you mentioned Christy earlier. I'm in a cash game group with her where we like go over hand histories together and stuff, and everyone tries to like boost each other up. And a lot of people have like moved
and Johnny
up stakes.
Vibes.
Yep.
Shout out, he's my boy too.
Awesome. A lot of people have moved up in stakes through that, and like I haven't had the time over the last few months we've been moving and stuff, but like as soon as WSP is over, I'm gonna go hard at that, and like I'll probably be showing up in a lot of different card rooms around here.
So I didn't know, you actually told me today that you've been doing some commentating and stuff for Poker Night in America with this like Gardens cash game. Talk to me a little bit about, like how you got connected with that, how you managed to do that. I mean, that's like a weekly show, right?
Yeah, so I do some like writing for Doug Polk for his like comedy stuff, and not the really mean stuff where you text everyone. Mine's the funny stuff where I'm nice to everyone.
So shout out, Doug Polk has writers.
Yes. he would admit that to everyone anyway, but he actually
which I haven't seen him all summer, but that's
he's in his own little like health and exercise mode right now. But he actually was offered jobs from Poker Night Live, and he said, actually Jamie's doing a bunch of this stuff for me, and so they hired me to do it because he didn't want to. So I do all their social media, and I actually got to like host 7 episodes of their show, which was like an experience for me. Like I'm stiff as can be in it because I was like, I'm on TV, help me. Like I was like so nervous, but it was like really cool to do something scary that I was afraid of. And yeah.
And this is what people don't realize. People are always going to be awkward at first, but if you like give them a chance, people who know what they're talking about are going to be way more interesting than people who are like snap comfortable on camera. Like just give everyone a second. Now, I hate that I can't use my right hand. I'm such a right-hander. But Sean's asking a question, and I'm not sure if you saw it, but what are your thoughts on that crazy all-in?
Oh my gosh.
The guy who tried to take back. So first, tell for the viewers who didn't see it, what's the story?
So
shit, you guys, we only have 20% power left. But yeah.
All right, so this guy who is apparently a regular on Live at the Bike, Ryan Feldman, who is the host of Live at the Bike, who is usually the commentator for the game, was in the game with him. And the board...
this is the angle sheet that everyone's saying.
It was a huge angle sheet. So the pot had $900 on it, and the board was something along the lines of like king high with like... There was 2 kings and a 7, and Ryan Feldman had king 7. So he had the second nuts on the board.
Looking good.
Yeah, and... a flush was possible, so what happened was, I think his name is Armenian Mike, maybe, I might be wrong, he puts $10K in the middle. He just takes his rack of $10,000, shoves it into a $900 pot, and Ryan just takes a bunch of chips and puts them in the middle. He says, I call. And Mike says, I was just kidding, like, pot's only $900, and clearly I didn't really mean to bet $10K. And Ryan was in just a really shitty spot, because he's like, I'm the host of this game, I get paid to host this game, you're a regular in this game. I'm from what I understand, the fish of the game, and that's why everyone was like, let him have his money back. Oh, like all the pros who are at the table were like, oh yeah, maybe it was a joke, because like they want him to have the 10K in front of him and not Ryan.
Right, because they want a piece of that 10K too.
And finally Garrett, whose name I always forget, his last name, he always plays on like Poker Go and at Live at the Bike, and he's just a stand-up dude. Oh, Garrett Adelson, maybe? Or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Adelstein, not Adelson. He finally says, look man, like, you put all your chips across the line, you give him the money or whatever, even though it was like not in Garrett's best interest to say that.
But
so he like took
somebody
a stand.
has to be the person who makes the choice.
It
right?
should have been the floor person. The floor person comes up and says what happened. They get it explained, and the floor guy makes the most like mind-blowing ruling where he says, well, Ryan, it's up to you whether you want it to be a shove or not. And Ryan's like,
oh, that puts him in the worst spot. That puts him in the worst spot.
He's a nice dude, so he's like, well, I guess you know, maybe I'll just let him keep the money, and maybe he was kidding. But where it's really messed up is that this dude, Mike, did it 2 other times, and he took the pot both times. So other times he was joking and put all the money across the line. When they pushed the money his way, he said, oh, like,
I'll take it.
Yeah, oh, that was a funny joke, thanks for the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was messed up.
Wow, so who then, how does it escalate? So the tournament, the floor guy makes that decision, and then how does it escalate to where somebody else is making...
I'm pretty sure Ryan eventually got pushed the chips, but I also heard a rumor that he might have given the money back to the dude.
Wow.
But then also,
good question, Sean.
The poker boss at Aria, who seems like a good dude from what I can gather on Twitter, he put this post out basically preemptively saying if this dude Mike shows up at Aria, he's not welcome there. So he just said, someone who's angling like this, we don't want in our casino. Please
Especially,
don't show up.
it's totally different if it's been if it's happened multiple times. I mean, it's still shady either way. But if it's happened multiple times, it's like, if this is your shtick, dude, like, no, somebody has to put the smack down.
If the other times when he did it, he said, I was just kidding, the pot's yours, then this time I would say he's just kidding. It's a really stupid joke and a risky joke, but then, like, he would have a leg to stand on. But the other times when he was joking, he took the money.
No, it's not fair. It's not like, you know, one way, the other. I wanted to welcome, I saw a beautiful lady's name in here. Liz, welcome, Liz. I also saw another lady's name in here. Sasha Salinger.
She's awesome.
What up, girl? Yeah, so her and I are going to have a dinner tonight before I go home tomorrow. Shout out to Sasha. All right, you guys, my phone's about to die. I have 20%, but I really appreciate everybody watching. Thank you guys for, like, pushing through even though we had, like, the issues.
Even though her phone is cooking.
Yeah. Stay tuned. The video today is going to be a gem. So stay tuned on PokerNews for the video. We're going to be going through edits real quick. We'll catch you guys on the flip.